Well, on today's episode, we are going to address a topic that is near and dear to my heart, the many waves of wedding planning. And if you know anything about us, you know we are located in Duluth, Minnesota on the shores of Lake Superior. And so waves is a common analogy that I like to use when I'm working with couples to talk about how they're feeling throughout their wedding planning process. So today's episode is going to just talk about how to ride those waves, how to expect them coming, know that they're coming, and give couples permission to know that what they're surfing is a wave and another one's on its way. So let's get into the episode and ride that wave together. Welcome to True North Weddings, the podcast that helps you navigate an authentic path to your wedding day. I'm your host, Mariah McKechnie, and I'm excited to be your guide in finding your true north along the journey of wedding planning. Over the past 15 years, I've collected a wealth of wisdom and experience working with couples to not only plan an incredible wedding day, but also enjoy the process throughout the journey. I'm thrilled to have this podcast to share this knowledge with you. And on the pod, I'll feature love stories, interview wedding professionals, and give you my honest, unfiltered advice on how to follow your true north straight to the altar and enjoy every last minute of the party. So get ready for bold, beautiful, and inspiring real talk about real weddings and real challenges. Promise me you'll bring an open mind and heart as you listen. Your True North wedding is just ahead. Let's go. So, Caitlin, we are going to talk today about a topic that you and I often discuss with our clients, which is wedding planning comes in waves.
Absolutely.
It's like this constant rolling, but ever-changing process that ends in a really big wave that is exciting. And when it crashes on the shore is just a whole lot, but a whole lot of wonderfulness. It's just like I can hear the crash of a wave and like the clang of a cymbal in a band at the end of the night on a wedding night. So I like to use that analogy with couples because I really think it helps to feel what it's like to be in the midst of wedding planning and knowing that
it's normal.
It's normal.
It's normal. It's okay. You will be okay. We're going to have a great time.
We're going to ride these waves together.
Yep.
As a wedding planner, we're on the surfboard with them, just riding it out.
Yep.
Yeah. So on today's episode, we want to talk about what are some of those waves that couples go through in planning, what to expect when they're coming, how to ride them out, and then what's going to be next as the waves keep coming, and give some just advice on riding those waves together. So we're going to dive in with the first wave of wedding planning is you're engaged.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you've said yes. You've made it official. You've told the world, maybe posted on Instagram, told your families. You have officially opened the floodgates for the waves to come in as you start riding that together. And typically what we see, and again, everything on this podcast is based on our overall experience, right? Every wedding is different. Let me start with that. There's no two that really should be the same. I hope that they are personalized and unique, and there's details that are significant to the couple, but there are some very common themes and very common experiences that over many years of doing this, I've come to see that really actually help normalize an experience in any event planning. Like there's periods and waves that anyone goes through in planning an event. So it's helpful to normalize and let people relate to, like, you're not alone. This is normal.
Yes.
I know we say that with couples a lot. So that first wave right after you're engaged is usually based in a frantic attempt to secure the big five. It's like you go on safari and you want to see the big five animals. Like in wedding planning, you want to hire the big five vendors. You want to first get a date. You immediately, your whole brain is like, how much time do I have?
What
how
time
I'm in
of year?
Yeah.
what's available,
How many
right?
divide up the time that I have to get everything done based on when you want to have the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you've been dreaming of a fall wedding and you get engaged in July. Okay, is it this fall? Because that's a different scenario than next fall, how much
Yes.
time you have.
Do you want
So
a spring wedding? That's 6 months away.
you get confronted immediately with a lot of decisions
Mhm.
and thinking about what do you want and getting clear on that. And that's
Mhm.
really important as a couple with your families, whoever is ultimately funding the wedding, just to immediately start to get clear on what you want so that
Mhm.
you can then go and start securing it. So this is one of the most stressful times of wedding planning is that early days of everything's on the table.
Yes.
Like the when and the where. Unless you are a couple who are already booked on a date and a venue before you get engaged, which does happen.
Mhm.
Some people know like it's coming and I already know I need to book my favorite venue a year out.
Yep.
That happens and you kind of go into it with that done. But typically those decisions haven't been made. So you're going to have a lot of incoming information, right?
Mhm.
What are all the family dates on the calendar that we need to be aware of so that you don't schedule your wedding? Maybe you have other siblings getting married
Yes.
around your like after you're engaged, but before you might get married. Maybe you
Mhm.
have cousins, family members. What are
Mhm.
graduations? Like what are all the dates that are off the
Yes.
table? Like can't get married then. Okay, fine. Like narrow it down. So kind of working backwards to what are the available timeframes. So this is a very typical process. Where in the world do you wanna have a wedding,
Yes.
right? Maybe you have been, like, loving a place for your whole life. You've always imagined yourself getting married there, but maybe the world is your oyster and you're like, "Let's go on a destination wedding." So
Yep.
how do you narrow that down? Of going to that next step of the where. Um, Quick side note, this is something we help a lot of couples with.
Absolutely.
Like, this is a phase that, a lot of people don't come to us until after they've already been through this, and they don't realize they need a wedding planner.
Mhm.
But if your foresight is, this is gonna be really challenging to narrow
Mhm.
down, we are available to help early in that process. Like, even
Absolutely.
before you have a date or a venue, I run couples through an exercise of what are the questions to ask? What are the important things to know? Who's important people to talk to? How do we narrow down the location?
How to
And
visualize that?
how to visualize that. Yes, exactly. And then how
Mhm.
to get to like a couple of options and weigh those out.
Yes.
So that's a really valuable service that I have offered and provide to clients so that they're framed around this big decision, the where and the when. And then from there, we can go into what happens next. But I kind of use that's like a separate service of like that venue and date uh, search. And then we can look at actually what does the wedding look like. So just something people may not realize that wedding planners offer. They
Mhm.
might think they can't hire someone until they know when or where, but actually, even if so for example, even if I'm not necessarily going to be your wedding planner because you choose a date that I'm not available or a location where I'm not going to go. For example, I had a couple that through this process, they ended up realizing from a whole world search that they were going to have their wedding in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I kid you not.
Mhm.
But that's because through the process where we looked all over the world, they kept coming back to this one venue that the bride had seen on Instagram in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was a black barn. It was before black barns were a thing.
Mm.
And I kept telling her, like, it's okay to be excited about that venue, even though it's
Absolutely.
not anywhere that you are from or have family or anything. Maybe Tulsa is amazing. Like,
Yes.
maybe this is a really good option. And I allowed her to explore it
Mhm.
by not taking it off the table
Yes.
because of its specific location. Well, sure enough, after weighing all the options, they went to Tulsa, they toured this venue, and that was it. They were in,
Everything.
and they had the
Yep.
best wedding, so much fun. Everybody went to Tulsa from Minnesota and explored this new city. Long story short, ultimately, my advice was hire a local wedding planner. I give that
Yes.
advice all the time.
Mhm.
Somebody in Tulsa is going to know so much more about the best Tulsa wedding. Just
Mhm.
like we're in Duluth. I'm going to give you the best advice on a Duluth wedding. So
Absolutely.
I have my own opinion about, destination wedding planning versus local wedding planning, which obviously I clearly think local wedding planning makes the most sense.
Mhm.
But alas, I helped her through getting that decision making for booking Tulsa. And then I helped her find a planner locally, and the venue
Absolutely.
helped as well. So we were like, let's get you matched up with somebody who was a good fit,
Mhm.
wish them well, followed along on the journey. And it
Yeah.
was so exciting when the photos came back and like, oh my gosh,
It
like,
still sparks joy.
yes, I was still part of that process.
Absolutely.
So just that's to say that a planner could be there to help you in that early day, even if they aren't the person that ultimately leads you on the wedding day. So
Mhm.
alas, a big helpful part of that first wave of wedding planning is if you have a planner by your side, we can kind of
Mhm.
cut out a lot of the noise
Yes.
as you're weighing the where and the when. And then that big five vendors, like a lot of the times, once you've booked that venue and that date, you're now wanting to line up the other really key pillar vendors of the
Yep.
wedding day. So that would be if your venue doesn't have catering, caterer, food.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that venue does have the catering on site, so you already know that's taken care of. But you might need to actually go out and get a separate caterer.
Mhm.
That's a
Yes.
big hiring process in itself. Your entertainment,
Mhm.
DJ or band. Maybe there's a band that you really want and they're hard to get, so you're going to
Yep.
want to get on their calendar. Your photographer
Yes.
slash videographer, that's one where you might want a very specific person. So
Mhm.
you've maybe been watching them on Instagram for a long time, you know that's who you want, or you don't have any clue and you need to look at a lot of people
Mhm.
and do some research. And then I already said planner. So, getting like all of your really major players, the people and the vendors that are going to make up the backbone of your wedding day, locking them in so that you know they're available for your date. So
Mhm.
that's usually the phase. Would you say that's what you see most commonly as the
Yes.
phase, the wave, the first wave of wedding planning?
Yes. I also think of it as like layers. This is your foundation. Your
Yes.
venue is the main foundation. Then it's your caterer and your bar and your DJ and your planner. And then above that is when you get into more of the details. Your florist, your your decor, um, any type of like extra things.
Stationery,
Mhm.
the
The
dress,
strings, if you have
ceremony.
yep, ceremony music or cocktail music as well. Um, there's layers to it and it comes in waves. You can definitely book. You can buy stationery 12 months out, but maybe wait just in case things
Yeah.
change.
That's a oh my gosh, there's so many analogies. I'm loving the cake analogy. Like creating a layer cake, you
Yes.
need that foundation. You need to put those pillars in for support. And then you're
Mhm.
going to add the frosting and you're going to add the detail.
Add that
It's the
little
same thing.
yep.
And that's a wave. Like each one of those ads on that layer cake is one of the waves that you're going to go through.
Mhm. And after finding those big 5, probably gonna be a little tired.
You're
Probably
going
gonna
to
wanna
feel
take a
a
break.
little burned out.
Yes. And usually, hopefully, this is right around the holidays.
Yes, if those align, that's perfect.
That is amazing. Sometimes it doesn't, and that's completely okay. But if it does kind of line up around the holidays, please give yourself permission to breathe, take a little bit of time off from wedding planning, being able to enjoy that time with family and friends, being able to make it restful. There's times where you take a break, my couples come back and they say, "I'm so sorry. I haven't done anything in a month since we've last talked." And I go, "That's okay.
Yeah,
I hope you enjoyed that break."
isn't it interesting how they are so
There's
apologetic? They feel
there's
so guilty. There's so
yes.
much guilt and shame around, I just didn't do anything for a month.
Yes.
That's
And
okay.
sometimes if it goes on like 2 months, they don't wanna talk to me. They're
Right
avoided
now
they're
they're
like
avoiding you.
yes, they think I'm gonna be mad or upset, and never. We understand that there are phases, there are waves, as this is aptly named, in wedding planning, and when you have that lull, enjoy it. It kind
Yeah.
of ruins it when the shame is involved and the guilt, because
Yep.
then it's not restful. Then you feel bad about that time that you took to spend time with your family or go on vacation with your partner or go on
Focus
that
on your
bachelorette trip.
job,
Yes.
your work.
Work, being able to pay and support for this wedding is
Yeah.
actually really important as well. It's okay.
It always all gets done.
Yes.
There's a deadline that everybody is clear about, and so by the time you get to the wedding, it will all get itself worked out. If you need a break, you need a rest, take it. There's
Absolutely.
no shame or guilt in that.
Mm-mm.
And it's so common that couples are just hard on themselves about, "Well, I didn't
Yes.
get anything done. What was I supposed to have gotten done?"
I want you to breathe right
honestly,
now.
like if you needed a break, you need to take it. And
Yes.
I'm not going to plan a wedding for 2 weeks, a month, whatever it is. Like
Sounds good.
full
I'll
stop,
check back
because
in.
you're going to be more productive and you're going to get more decisions made when you are rested and inspired.
Mm-hmm.
So we always give that permission, and we help couples to kind of look and see in those waves where that's going to just naturally happen.
Yes.
And usually it's after that big rush at the beginning where you're just like so focused on locking in a date and a location. And then you look up and are like, well, now what?
Yes.
And I will say that's the perfect time to really just be aware and inspired.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have some foundational elements that you can use to put the puzzle together. Like you know your venue. So you have an aesthetic starting to form based on your venue. Okay, start getting inspired. Spend time just taking it all in.
Mm-hmm.
Pinterest, Instagram, like consume as much inspiration, magazines. I
My
love a magazine.
Favorite thing is when I'm working with a couple and they're like, I'm going to a wedding this weekend. I go,
Oh,
perfect.
yes.
Take notes, take pictures, look at the feel and the flow of the day. Tell me what you loved, I'm like, this is now a homework assignment.
Yeah.
I expect us to have a meeting afterwards and you tell me all about it.
Yes.
What did you actually enjoy? What did you love? What did you hate?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to love everything at everyone's wedding. Some things just aren't for you, and that's okay. But taking note of those things, some people really don't go to weddings all that often. Completely fine. If you have the opportunity, go and just sit in the corner and just
take it all in.
Just kind of look around and see what actually speaks to you. If you don't want a live band, don't get a live band.
And have those conversations with each other, as a
Yes.
couple, and even with like the key members of your family that are potentially contributing financially to the wedding. It's really
Mhm.
important because they're going to want to have an opinion. Have a focus group. Like spend this time doing some little like focus group sessions where you're there to just share and ask questions. And I love always posing that question like, let's think back on all the family weddings we've attended and what are the things that we remember the most? What are the things that we liked and didn't like? I always ask them to think about a time when the couple or one of the members of the couple was in a bad mood or was kind of sour or negative, and how that impacts the day. Oh man, I get looks when I ask that question and they're looking at each other and they're like, remember that time.
Remember the time that cousin, just
So-and-so.
bad mood. And you can feel it.
The whole
It's
day.
ripples and in waves. And as a planner who's there all 16 hours of the wedding day, when you walk in and you're like, hey, how's hair and makeup going? And you look and you see that
Sour
bride
face.
is not happy, or groomsmen come into the building and I go, hey, where's the groom? And they're like, he's in the car.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
So I use that example because when you can picture that experience and how that felt, you suddenly realize how you don't want to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to not feel that way, what are we going to need to change or do? How do you manage yourself into the wedding day in your best mindset? Like that's a mindset conversation. We usually have that about this time too. It's like there's 2 ways we can do this. One is where you don't enjoy this process and you're miserable on your wedding day. Or 2 is where you have fun along the way and you have the best day ever. Which one are you looking to
And
choose?
you start to build joy, build that anticipation. Think of it as like an upward slope. As we get closer, you should be getting more excited. I'm so excited to see my bouquet. I'm so excited to get my hair and makeup done. I'm so I'm so excited to eat my dinner. If you're not happy with the food that you're going to be eating throughout the day, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm a big advocate for, are you liking what you're eating for dinner? Do you have a lunch plan? And what are you eating for breakfast? Because you need to eat throughout that day.
You're so good about that. You're so good about making sure that I have snacks too.
That is true. That is one of my
planning together
biggest tasks when it comes to
keep the team fed.
Yes, that is a big priority, especially the bride and groom. Because sometimes there's nerves and they're like, I don't want to eat. I'm like, can you just eat 2 strawberries for me?
2 strawberries.
Please.
Can you get those down?
Here's a glass of water. Yep.
So that second phase, that second wave is being inspired.
Typically right after the holidays.
Yeah, just or through them even, while you're together and you are taking in a lot of advice and hearing ideas that people have, like just soak it all in. Be inspired.
If you really want to know some tips on how to survive the holidays, we do have a bonus episode.
Yes.
That tells you some of our best practices, how we coach our couples in surviving a holiday hell when planning a wedding.
go back to that bonus episode because that is really useful. When you're being inspired and you're kind of taking it all in, that's another point at which if you do have a wedding planner or maybe are thinking about engaging one, this is a place where we help a lot of clients to sort out all the ideas.
Yes.
Take all of the inspiration, narrow it down, and start to bring focus to what are we actually going to do. I always want couples to start by dreaming big. Like
Yes.
put it all out there, make a vision board, put everything on your Pinterest board, and then together, let's narrow that down and read. I read the Pinterest board like looking for themes or
Yes.
common ideas that
Elements,
keep showing up.
colors.
And then how are we going to do those and marry those with your budget? Because
Yes.
that's a big part. People will want something and then they think they can't have it because it's out of their budget. But the reality is there might be many ways we can achieve the same concept that are within your budget. But
Yes.
it's more common. They're like, no, I can't have that. No,
Yep.
I hear that all the time. I would love this, but, and I pause on the but and I'm like, but what, right? Let's get at it. And then, well, what if we did it this way? Or what if you incorporated it in this?
And this is where we roll up our sleeves as a wedding planner and say, you want to dream big? Let me dream big with you. Here's what we can do together. Here's some options.
And then, let's create the options of how we could have an essence of this.
Yes.
So here's an extreme example. I really want to get married in Italy, but, okay. What I've heard is like, you really want to go to Italy and have an Italian aesthetic for your wedding, but what's the but? Well, we can't
afford
we
it.
have a lot of family that won't travel and we can't afford it. Okay. Well, can we take elements of what you wanted out of that Italian wedding and bring them to your wedding here? And maybe you've choose a venue where you can accomplish that aesthetic locally. Maybe it's as small as we have the little almonds on the table, or we have,
Vines,
we have
grapevines,
olive
greenery.
branches in your bouquet. Like your vision of an Italian wedding could show up in the smallest ways, but still bring you a ton of joy.
Exactly.
And maybe that's based in your Italian heritage or, oh my gosh, my brain can go a million ways with how that original dream, that initial thought can show up in a thread throughout your wedding.
Absolutely.
Can you tell I love this? Like I love designing with couples and figuring out how the dream still comes alive, even if the reality is you're not going to go to Italy. It's not going to, that's probably, in your case, that's not happening. However, what else could we do? And that is really helpful for couples in giving them permission to figure out how to still have their dreams. So this is a good example of how we work with couples in that design and dreaming phase or wave of wedding planning, because now we have a vision to execute against. This is an exciting wave.
Yes.
It usually comes to a crest where we have a vision board built or a design board. We're looking at vendors that are more in that realm: florist, decorator, or rental company, stationery design, like cake, dessert
and food.
Yeah. A lot of times people will run out right when they get engaged and think that they have to hire every vendor. You don't. Take it in waves. Literally,
Yes.
that's important because you might book yourself a cake baker and then only come to realize you don't actually like cake, either one of you. You want ice cream.
You just feel like you had to.
Yeah, you had to. It was like obligation.
Well, I have to cut a cake. No. We can cut a cheesecake. Let's cut a donut.
Let's eat
share a
ice
scoop of
cream.
ice cream. There's no wrong way to do a wedding. And something I love to tell my couples is even if they want that Italian wedding, maybe they can achieve that within their venue. What about your rehearsal? What about an engagement party? This is a full wedding process. There's probably 10 other events that need to happen before your actual wedding day. Let's pick and choose. If it's not the actual wedding day, what can we do?
What about the honeymoon?
Exactly.
Like so many ways
Yes.
to accomplish this dream. So as you crest through the wave of this inspiration period and we're going out and we're looking at that next level down of vendors, those are really fun. It's fun to dream and share those details then, say, with your florist or your rental company, your specialty rentals, like our company, The Vaults. Like there's a lot of ways to bring in design elements through specialty rentals. And there's a lot of detail involved in that. But remember, in this wave, you don't have to know absolutely everything. You're looking for partners that believe in your vision
and can help you build it out.
Yes. They have the tools. They're your cheerleaders. They are excited about your vision, and that's who you're wanting to work with. But you don't have to know every single thing with them at that stage. You just need to book them the date. You need to know that
Yes.
they're available for your date and get a general range of budget. A
Mhm.
lot of people at this phase want to know everything, but those vendors may not be able to tell you everything because they're still gathering information and some things still need to come to light.
Yep.
For instance, where there's impact on the number of guests you're having, right?
Yes.
If you think you're having 200, we can ballpark around that. But if that number goes up or drops dramatically, that's going to change your budget. So
Yes.
we can't really know the final details until the last big wave where your guest count comes in, and now we're finalizing a floor plan and seating chart, all
Yep.
those things. So in that wave, know that not every detail is going to be nailed down, but we'll get there. Your vendor has a process. They know that they
Yes.
need to get this info from you, and they're doing this all day, every day. This is
Yes.
not like
This is a
new to
full-time
them.
job for us.
It's a full-time job. We have to get this information eventually from
Mhm.
every client, but we don't have to know it all right now. So some things are really helpful to know early, but it's typically like more about relationship building during this
Yes.
phase.
Do you trust this vendor? If
Yep.
you don't trust the vendors that you're choosing, that's not
There's
a
the
great
first red.
setup.
That's the first red flag.
Yes, absolutely. I've had couples that are like, well, I feel like I have to do XYZ, or I feel like I have to book XYZ because my cousin did, because this vendor told me I have to go with them. And that's always part of our job as a planner, is allowing our couples to say no or to say yes,
Giving them permission.
letting them dream big, letting them, it's also a therapy session. Letting
Yes.
them air out all the things that are on their mind, and then sorting through all of it, and at the end of the day giving them permission to, yes, go with this color palette. Yes, go with fake florals if that's what you want. Yes, get real floral.
Yeah.
Don't need to buy or purchase this. You don't need to book this vendor. It's allowing them to dream big, giving them a safe space to essentially word vomit, dream
Sort
big.
it all out.
Yes, and we get in there, elbows rolled up, and just help you.
Make sense of it all.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So now we're going into what I think is like the third big wave or the last big wave of wedding planning. Again, in between, rest, recover, get ready for it. I always tell couples that the last 6 to 8 weeks are going to be busy.
Yes.
There isn't a world with any planner that you hire where you're not going to have work to do in the last 6 to 8 weeks of wedding planning.
Mhm.
I cannot take it all off your plate. And I typically like relationships with clients where they have skin in the game and we're working side by
It's a
side on something because it's your wedding. Like I want your engagement. So I'm always telling them, like, prepare to be flat out busy that last 6 to 8 weeks. Like, clear everything else from your schedule. Like,
Mhm.
recognize, if you can, clear your schedule because this is going to be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to have your head above water when you're riding out this last wave. I want you to
Yes.
stay alive and be excited, like to build
Yes.
on that enthusiasm of like, oh my gosh, like we're almost there. It is going to be the best day. And to be able to be rested and ready to take that last 6 to 8 weeks and ride that wave right into the finish.
Mhm.
So, or into the shore. So this is like that before that time period, like that's where it's really important to take that breather and be ready, because that's when all of your RSVPs are coming in.
Yes.
All of your counts are starting to be needed by vendors. All those final details are being asked for.
Yes.
As vendors, we're going, okay, now we actually do need to know, like, your wedding is next in our pipeline. We're ordering for your wedding.
Mhm.
We're staffing. We're getting everything ready. So
Yep.
from you, we need to know how many people are coming.
Yep.
We need to know, like, what you want them to eat, like all these final
Mhm.
decisions. And so just giving yourself, like, having that little talk with yourself to say, this is going to be crazy, but it's okay. That's
We're
by
in
design.
it together.
We're in it
You and
together.
your partner, and if you have a planner, that third person, we're all in this
Yeah.
to drive joy, even though it might not always be fun.
And the most important part about this wave, if I'm really thinking about this right now, is decision making.
Mhm.
We're done dreaming. to be honest, like we're done dreaming. Now we're deciding. So we've gone from like big picture, nailing down the foundation. Now we've dreamed about a lot and we've figured out some details, and now we're just straight deciding.
Mhm.
It doesn't really matter in the end of the day what color your table linens are, but you need linens on the table, so you pick one. It doesn't really matter like if people eat chicken or fish or steak. It matters that there's food on the table, so pick one. And
Yes.
that like is where people get stuck. They can't make a decision. So as a planner, I try to really help them just say, hey, you really actually can't go wrong. It will all be okay. This is a small detail, but what will be a problem is if you don't decide or you
Yes.
wait too long to decide. So driving to decision making, the minute you make a decision, it's gone.
I tell them their guests don't know what the other option was.
Oh, totally.
They don't know if you were deciding between green and blue, between laurels and candles for your centerpieces. They don't know. They don't know what you don't put in front of them. And they're going to be happy with it because they're here to celebrate you.
Yeah.
If they think, I don't like the centerpiece, they're going to be quiet about it.
What they will know or recognize is if you are a hot mess by the time
Yes.
you get to the wedding day because you're still deciding,
Mm-hmm.
because you haven't made decisions along the way. And on the wedding day, someone's asking you, do you want this on the table or not? Oh my God, that's the most frustrating thing because you didn't decide and you didn't give clear direction to your vendors or to your frienders or to your friends and family
Yep.
bridal party about what you really want, or that you don't want to make those decisions anymore.
My biggest pet peeve is when a couple doesn't plan out their photos and then it's an hour of the photographer and me looking at them saying, what other photo do you want with your family? What other
my God.
combination do you want? And having to ask that so many times, I hate doing it. But also, what other photos do you want? Like I probably did ask for this list. I'm sure the photographer did too, and it didn't happen, whether for a number of reasons. Stress, forgot, didn't think you'd need it. It happens. But the reason we ask for things is usually so we don't have to ask you on the wedding day.
Yes.
I want this decision 2 months out so that on the day of the wedding, I print out this document and this is your answer.
Yep.
If we need to change things, add things, absolutely. But seeing that happen and watching the bride and groom just get so tired and frustrated and
Answering that question.
Yes, over and over
Oh,
and over
we did a wedding
again.
recently, you and I, where that was exactly how it went. And thankfully we were there because we
Yes.
took charge.
Mhm.
And that's what hopefully your wedding planner coordinator on the wedding day would do alongside your photographer is take charge, because at some point you just have to call it. And I always err on the side of like, let's get as many groups and combinations of photos as we
Yes.
can with the people that we have here so that you don't miss something. You don't want to miss photos with grandma,
Exactly.
because you
Yep.
just threw your hands up and said, I'm done. And we had a bride who was so close to that.
Yep.
She was ready, like on the verge of tears, to say, I don't want any more photos
Mhm.
because of how many people were asking her.
Yes.
And we took charge and said, you know what? You don't have to decide. Just stand there. Just
Stand there.
Stand there and look
you
pretty.
You won't move.
We'll
I'll
bring
tell
the people
where
in.
to go. Yep.
And thankfully, we had the ability to do that, because in scenarios where that's not happening, and if you don't have a strong photographer who takes charge in that moment, it does end in tears. Well,
Mhm.
now what, right? So that is all to say that last wave is about making decisions and giving permission and direction to people to take charge on your behalf,
Yes.
so that when you are on that wedding day, you are in a bubble of not having to make decisions anymore.
Bubble of
You're
bliss.
over it. I always say we're going to leave the couple in a bubble of bliss.
Yep.
And I give that advice at a rehearsal. We're all trained to give that advice
Exactly.
on my team. Tomorrow, I have one rule for you. This is talking to the wedding party and the
Mhm.
family and the
Yep.
couple.
Yep.
We are not going to bother these two about anything. We're not
Yep.
going to ask them to make any more decisions.
Mm-hmm.
They have hired a team of professionals to do their best work. They have asked you to be here to support them, but not to bug them about every little thing.
Mm.
So we're going to let them be in a bubble of bridal bliss. And then we're going to tell them all the funny stories and decisions that we had to make behind
2
the
weeks
scenes.
later.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a really good time.
I make the comment that if groomsmen, you don't know where your belt is, you lost your tie, you do not come and talk to them. You come and talk to me. Bridesmaids, one of your flowers is breaking or falling off of your bouquet, you come and find me.
Oh my goodness.
Mom, you don't know where your phone is because you set it down and lost it. You do not talk
Oh my
To your
God.
children, no, you come and find me. You don't know where to set or put this. Anything at all, you do not go and talk to them. Pretend like they know absolutely nothing about their wedding other than where I tell them to be.
Caitlin, someday, maybe my children get married, you're going to be helping me find my phone.
Oh, it's just going to stay in my pocket. You don't get your phone all day.
I'm like, oh my God, it's me. I'm going to be
Yes.
looking for my phone.
Yes.
And my kids will be so mad at
And
me
it's just
if
one
I
of
bother
those-
them about it.
Yes, it's just one of those things where it doesn't seem like a big deal. Oh, hey, have you seen my phone? And the bride's like, just get out of my face. Like, go away right now. I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here. I will happily find your phone. I have no problem crawling around on the floor, looking under a
Oh my
table,
God.
digging through bags. Please come and find me. I will take care of it.
And to say, if having a planner or coordinator is not in the cards for you for whatever reason, find a person
That
who
type
can take
A.
that role.
Confrontational but kind, type A friend that will just knows you well and will do what you need.
Yeah.
And will not ask you questions.
Keep that out of your hands and having to make those decisions.
No.
So that final wave as you coast into the wedding day, I think we've been very clear about the mindset of not making any more decisions, being confident in the plans that you have made, trusting your vendors, and just riding it out like with class, like riding it out with joy and just the best intentions to have a great day. Like when we all show up like that, oh my God, the magic that happens.
The
like,
pep in my step when I walk into a venue. Oh, it's
gonna be
such a
amazing.
great day. And sometimes it's my first time like meeting them. So I can't rah, like all in their face at 9 o'clock in the morning. But by the end of the day, I'm sitting in the back of their ceremony, clapping the loudest, just so happy for these two.
And you feel the energy in the room. We typically hit the bridal party first with the bride and the bridesmaids, or wherever the bride is getting dressed, or both brides or the grooms, or we come and visit you first in the morning, and you feel the energy in the room. And when we have prepared the
stage
mindset for just riding this wave out with the most joy, you immediately walk into that room and you're like, this is going to be a good day. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I get chills just thinking about it.
Yep.
And from there, it flows. It's just like the water flows. Everything is beautiful. Whatever comes at us, we're ready for it. And by the end of the night, like, it's an intangible feeling in the room of like, whoa, that was really good.
That was smooth and great.
Don't even know why.
And, it's so interesting when, if I ask the question, like, what made you, come and think you need a wedding planner? Like, what is it that's been driving this? And they go, I had an awful experience as a bridesmaid.
Oh, yes.
I was in a wedding. It sucked. I don't want to deal with that on my wedding day. And so I want a planner. Absolutely. And it's one of my favorite moments, and it makes me feel so proud when I have bridesmaids, groomsmen, family members come up to me and say that they had a great time. Say that they could see what I was doing on the wedding day, saw the value in it, appreciate it, and their niece is getting married. Their cousin is engaged, and I'm going to get a phone call saying, can you do this again? And very funnily enough, I have this next season a sister to a groom's wedding that I did.
Do you really?
Yes.
That's right.
So it's so
gosh.
fun when it's just like a family and they are like, yeah, we did have such a great time together. I want her again.
Yep.
Can we work with you? Absolutely. 1000%.
Oh, I have so many where I've done many, many family members.
Yes.
And those are my favorite like relationships. I've already going into that wedding day knowing like
all the quirks
I
in
know
the
this family.
And
well, when we started this episode, totally honestly, it in my mind wasn't about how you need a wedding planner to ride the waves with you. Like, I think the back of my mind, that was probably obvious, but just to end, like, it sure is easier to ride those waves if we are there to help you know that they're coming and to know what to expect and to give you all the advice that you need to ride them without a big crash. So, that's what we do. We're obviously passionate about what we do, and we love the process, the experience, and knowing how we can bring more joy and less stress to it. But whether you have a wedding planner or not, knowing what those waves are, that they're normal, that they're coming, that it's okay to take a break after them, I hope is super helpful to anybody listening. And as vendors, wherever you are in the process, I think this would be really helpful and interesting conversation to hear at where you are in that process and in those waves and how you can support your clients as they're coming through them. So like if you are a florist, recognize like where you're going to come out in the process and then how you can benefit your client in riding that wave together. So I think this is a valuable conversation, whether you're a couple or a vendor, and just understanding like how to flow with those waves as they come.
Because as a vendor, we have our own cycle of business, and it forces you to be in a customer service mindset when you recognize what your couples are also going through. They're also going through these waves with you, and they actually sync up pretty nicely.
They really do.
And so there's a reason they move in this way. And so, I mean, the longer you work, the more customer service oriented you are. You realize, yep, we're going to take a little bit of time off at the holidays. We don't need decisions.
Yeah.
Check in with you in the new year. Please enjoy your time.
Oh my gosh. I'm so lucky to be in this flow with you, Caitlin, and serving couples and working with vendors to produce amazing wedding days. And grateful for everybody who's listening to the True North Weddings podcast. We're kicking off our second season with this episode, so I hope you've enjoyed it. There are more to come, lots of great conversations with wedding professionals and on topics that are near and dear to our hearts over our many years of working with couples in the wedding industry. So thanks for listening, and we look forward to holding space with you on our next episode of the True North Weddings podcast. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the True North Weddings podcast. I hope today's conversation has filled your heart with inspiration and excitement for your journey down the aisle. Remember, love is the compass that guides us all, and I'm here to help you navigate that every step of the way. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform. And until next time, keep following your true north. And if you need a little bit more help along the way, you can always find me at truenorthweddingsduluth.com. Remember, just by listening to this podcast, you're already pointed in the right direction.